another edition of Around Our Area here on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Gray Knott, and I'm joined by Sherry Schroeder, the Executive Director of the Platte County Museum, and we're actually standing in one of the three buildings of the Platte County Museum here in kind of downtown Columbus, just north of the main downtown. Sherry, for people who maybe don't know about you guys over here at the Platte County Museum, can you kind of just give us a little background of the Platte County Museum?
Well, the Platte County Museum originally was in the old Burlington Depot. And in 1978, we opened in the Third Ward Lincoln School. The building was purchased in 1977. Then in 1996, the East Annex was built, and in 2003, this building, the West Annex, was built. So we have three buildings full of Platte County history.
Well, it's very cool. And when you walk, somewhere I haven't been in a long time since I was a little bit younger, so seeing kind of this new stuff, it's really cool to see how well kept it is. Does it keep you busy coming down here to work?
It does keep me busy, yes. There is new old stuff coming in every day.
Well, that's awesome to hear. Some of that new old stuff and maybe some of the old stuff, can you walk us through some of the cool things that you guys have here at the museum?
Well, some of the major things we have are the 1857 Gottschalk cabin. Mr. Gottschalk was one of the founders of Columbus, and we have his home. We have a 1913 Indian motorcycle, which is very popular. A 1914 Chevrolet Baby Grand touring car. And in 2014, we had a birthday party for it. We also have the damaged eagle that fell in Frankfurt Square a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It is now flying on its own little monument. We have our newest room is the 30s through 70s room. History didn't stop in 1920, so we completely changed a room around, and it's devoted to things that younger people can bring their kids in and say, this is what it was like when I was growing up.
Well, and we'll touch base a little bit more in depth on some of those cool things you talked about. I guess running this museum and having to deal with the history of Platte County, is there quite a bit of history that I guess supplements this museum?
Well, this year, 2016, Columbus is 160 years old.
Oh, wow.
So if you stop and think about 160 years of history, there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
I try to keep track of as much of it as I can, but it doesn't always work.
No, but you do a great job, and everything is very cool. I want to go a little bit into some of the things you mentioned. First, the Gottschalk cabin. Can you go into a little more depth, how you guys came about obtaining that and kind of what it is?
Well, it used to be over on 17th Street between, I believe it was 20th and 21st. Jim and Carol Scow owned the property. The cabin was covered with white siding, so it looked like a garage. And they donated it to the museum. It was moved over here on, I believe it was December, I have to look at my notes, December 24th, 1995. There was no building. It was just they poured a concrete slab, and the cabin was set down on the playground of the school building, and later the building was built around it. The white siding was taken off, and it's the cabin just like the Gottschalks lived in it.
Still in pretty good condition?
It's in very nice shape, yes.
Very cool. Another thing to touch on, the motorcycle. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you guys came about obtaining that?
Well, that came here long before I did. Yeah. But the gentleman who owned it only had it and drove it for a little more than a year, and then he passed away. And someone in his family kept it in a bedroom and an attic and a barn and various other locations until it was donated to us.
Okay, very cool. For people who maybe haven't been out here as well, you guys got a nice big size room. Do you guys hold events and stuff like that out here, I guess per request?
We are standing in our meeting room. We generally have a program meeting every month with, we hope, interesting topics for members and others to come. This room is also available to rent. We've had birthday parties and baby showers, and in December we had our first wedding in here.
How exciting to have something like that. It's got to be fun to kind of bring people in here and to get to show off what you get to work with every day.
It's wonderful, and it's always exciting to hear from the people afterwards, how their event turned out.
No, absolutely. And for people who don't know where you guys are at here, where are you guys located? And if somebody wants to come and check things out, especially during these winter times and then summer hours as well, how do they get a hold of you and go about that?
Our address is 2916 16th Street, between 29th and 30th Avenue on 16th. We're not hard to spot, three large buildings. Our summer hours start in the middle of May and run through Labor Day. And those are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4. The rest of the year, it's by appointment. I do warn people it's a bit chilly in some of the buildings during the winter time, but if they want to bundle up and come, we'll try to accommodate.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. It's been fun to kind of hear about the Platte County Museum.
Well, thank you for visiting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in as well for another edition of Around Our Area here on News Channel Nebraska. Sherry Schrader, I'm Grant Otten. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.